Yeah, mate.
Right,
Moving up there.
we are ready to go. He's got the shoulders. He's up and about. Daniel, Melbourne, Hibbard. How are you, mate?
Very well today. I'm actually free. I'm out of isolation, so yeah. And Melbourne's going well, so it's all good. It's all good.
I wouldn't have known Melbourne were going good. You keep that one hidden a little bit. There's no worries.
Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that.
And if they didn't, they soon will. So that's for sure. But anyway, so we are live. And the idea of this show, the premise of this show is basically to talk harness racing. Not a lot of structure. We've got a few little things. Daniel's got a couple of things planned tonight as well. We've got a special guest waiting on the line as well. We just want to talk harness racing and we want people to get involved. We want to be able to get the word out there for lots of things going on good around harness racing. That's our main aim, isn't it, mate?
Sure is. It's certainly a tough time for a lot of people, and hopefully we can give them a bit of light in it with regards to the trots over the last week, and hopefully we can get through this tough period across the state.
I was about to throw to our guest, but it would be scary. Everyone would be like, where is she? But it's okay. She's there now. So now she's there. Louise Toulmin, firstly, welcome to Campbell's Comments Live. You haven't done one of these with me. Oh, yes, you have. You're actually old hat at this. You've got it all sorted.
Well, hopefully I've got it all sorted, but just a little bit worried about how much battery this phone's got. But we can always just, do the old quick relay change and give Gaz's phone a call and finish it off on that phone. But, thank you for having us on tonight.
Right, I wear a lot of hats. I've got the Yabby Dams Farms hat on at the minute, and we will probably talk a little bit about the spring sale coming up if the battery lasts. But there's a much more important thing. Daniel, last week I was getting a lot of messages while we were live and getting people to get involved and share some comments and that. But Louise didn't realise we were live, but she came up with this brainchild this time last week, didn't you, Louise?
Yeah, I've been trying to get a little bit fit coming into spring, summer, and I've been doing a bit of training on the bike in the back room. And I actually messaged the girls from Yabby Dams saying, I think we need to look at doing a fundraiser and maybe involved with some form of exercise, more to actually motivate myself. But yeah, it actually snowballed from there, from a conversation with the other girls from Yabby Dam Farm.
It is a great idea. I can promise you that I recently. Susan Hayes says we need a new hat. You're not wrong, Susan. We'll worry about that later on. I just today did a promotional video. Had to go and get a jacket and put on. Fair to say, COVID winter is not ideal for us. So one for our figure, Louise, it's a lot better. But two, for our mental state, and that's one of the reasons you're trying to do this, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it is really is. It sounds a little bit vain doing it for your physical condition, but yeah, it is really for the mental health. I have a couple of children that don't live in Victoria, one over in London, and Alana in New South Wales, and COVID and the restrictions that's put in place really does impact how much you can see them, which, brings into line, we all need to sort of look after our mental health, especially in this COVID-19 period. So
the idea is to walk your trotting track, basically. That's right. So it sort of was a brainchild to sort of initially sort of promoted in the harness industry. But, plenty of people are involved in harness racing don't have a track, but I'm sure they have a driveway, a road, any sort of path that they can walk and, share that experience with all of us, whether it's from Instagram, a Snapchat, something like that. And we can sort of all be, as much as we can't be together, we actually can be together and all experiencing this thing together. Did you want to ask a question, Daniel? No?
No, not at the moment. I was just making sure. I was watching Facebook just to make sure it was all working. I was a bit worried we weren't on, but you have got it working, which is good.
No, I've definitely got it on. What are you doing at the minute? Just so people are aware, Louise, because every now and then the wind comes in. So this is where the motivation part comes into it, Daniel.
So basically we're saying that we have 24 hours in a day and we just need to find, whether it's 20 minutes, half an hour or an hour, whatever time you've got, to get out and do some exercise. So I've had a pretty big day today, and
at the farm getting some stuff organised to promote the brood mares that Pat's got in the nutrient sale on the upcoming weekend. So I'm actually just walking around my driveway and the shed, because I did attempt thinking that I could actually walk the trotting track, but it's 800 metres from the house and it's very dark. So I'm not really brave. So I've put the lights on the side of the house, and I've got a little bit of light. So I do apologise for me going from black to dark to a little bit steamy, and I am puffing. So I am walking.
But that's the idea. No, make no excuses. Just get out and do it, isn't it?
That's right. Just get out and, hopefully, people can find this a little bit of fun as well. Alana will come on board up in New South Wales. Hopefully, she'll walk the Menangle track at times and the roads around Menangle where she lives, and it's just a form of, banter, really, and communication about mental health too, because we can all look like we've got our everything all together, but I'm sure most people, if they're honest with themselves, do have a period of time where they're not actually feeling the best. And, people just need to reach out to everybody else. No one is alone, in a battle with mental health.
So how do you want people to register and get involved?
So basically, if people want to donate, there's a donation you can do, or they can just come on, they can, just jump on board, send us a message on Facebook, say that they want to join in, and just, communicate with us via Facebook.
And it's not a competition either, Louise. It's just it's
not a competition.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
We're not asking people to, over the month of September, do some ridiculous amount of kilometres. If people want to do that, if people want to keep a track, we're keeping a track out at Yabby Dams, who's walking and who's not. But, that's just for our own little benefit as such, really, sort of thing. But it's like I say, it's just to open that window to sort of exercise, be aware of your mental health. We're all in this together. COVID-19 put a lot of restrictions on people, and we just want to let people know that, everybody's here for everybody.
Absolutely, and it's great. We've got 2 comments that already have come through. Daniel, did you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, I've been through the last 2 weeks, or a year and a half, 2 weeks of home isolation. And luckily, I'm out on a bit of acreage, so I'm not tied up in town. But you do get even when you're at home, and haven't been working or anything like that, haven't been able to go to the races and call and that sort of thing, and you do get, you sort of sometimes scratch your head and think, well, what can I do to keep myself occupied? And we just, so Adam, myself and Riley here, we just go for a walk. We usually take the bins down to the road during the week, but we also go usually for a walk every lunchtime just to get out of the house, essentially, because you just can't sit inside all the time. You need to get out and move around, and it's the best thing for us. We take the dogs with us. We just walk up the road. It's only 500 or 600 metres. It's not far, but one way and then back, so a bit over a kilometre sort of walk, which is just to stretch the legs is all you sort of need. But people just need to, if people just get out and walk for 20 minutes, half an hour each sort of day, just to relax the mind and stretch the legs, it can only benefit you.
And you can even do an interview, Daniel, while you're going.
Correct, that's right. Multitask.
We'll get into trouble. I think Louise is smiling at that one. Louise, I will just a couple of questions that you won't be aware of. We've had a little bit of feedback too. Chelsea Munro. Chelsea, I'm going to do something with you in a minute. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it, but we will work something out there as well. And Peter Doyle as well. Thank you very much, Pete. We'll get to both those messages there. Well, Chelsea's for you, Louise. This lady is awesome. Well done, Louise, and the team at Yabby Dam Farms. So, which is great for Chelsea to chime in as well. I've got a bit of a giveaway. I'm just not sure how we're going to do the giveaway, but I have actually got a tub. I've got to get it up there in front of the camera of Harmony to give away in some form. I'm not exactly sure, Louise. I just, at the last minute, I thought, I should be doing something with those. So we'll work something out. Chelsea might come up with an idea. She might send me in a message about some way that potentially we might even just give it to, what about, Louise? We just give it to someone random that puts a message in on your Facebook page. They don't have to, they don't have to have walked. They can walk 1 metre. It doesn't matter. We're just someone that randomly contacts the Facebook page, and next week we'll award someone there the tub of Harmony, which is a terrific product and very sought after, I must say. And I might get Chelsea on one day to promote that up. But if you're happy with that, Louise, we might do that.
No, that's great. That's great. I think it's a product I use personally on my farm here. It does a great job, and I know a lot of people are using it and getting great results.
Absolutely. The other one I want to talk to you about, you got to wear one of your other hats. You got to take your Yabby Dam Farms Harass to Trotter hat off for the minute, and I will do a bit more promotion about what's going on for them with nutrient and that. I can do that one on my own a little bit later on, Louise. But Rob Watson has been a terrific supporter of Oakbank Estate, which is yourselves and Gary's farm and the likes. And this month being the month of prostate cancer, so Mick Stanley has been nominated as one of the drivers, and Johnny Keldo to raise awareness for prostate cancer, something that harness racing do terrifically. And Rob has decided he would match it. So HRV have said $500 to every winner that Mick or John drive for the month September. And to match that, Rob said any winner that Mick drives on one of his horses, he'll match it for $500. The first race they conduct on the 1st of September, and Rob owns the first winner. So it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Rob's a very avid and loyal harness racing breeder, owner, and owner of stallions, and he's very passionate of those things, and he definitely opens his pockets up to help a really good cause.
It is a good cause. We'll follow it through for the month of September, that's for sure. But it's just a great way to kick it off. One win, and they've already got $1,000 in the kit. So well done, Mickey Stanley and Johnny Keldo. I was going to try and get Mick on, but it's a little bit tight because he's got a horse racing a little bit later on that a lot of the social media guys will be in behind. So, Louise, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for getting this going. Myself and Daniel, we might have to try and do On Loose Lines live walking one night, mate. How do you reckon that'll go?
Sounds like a plan, as long as there's a bit of daylight. You don't want to be doing it. We don't want to be doing it in the dark with someone having to go around with a car with the headlights on. That just probably won't be good television.
It'll be a bit of fun.
I actually thought that I could have jumped on the bike, and as much as it was a walk the track, it was still some form of exercise. And that's probably the thing is too, someone can't walk a track if the weather's inclement, any form of exercise, skipping, ride a bike, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, that walk the track was just something that we thought would be sort of, great for harness racing people, because most people who are a trainer have a track sort of thing. So, like I say, any form of exercise is good. It all helps our mental health, and if we can sort of know that our community, our harness racing community, is a big family. So I'm sure that, it'll gain legs, and it'll be very interesting to see, what we get through social media and sharing people won't, a lot of people haven't been to other people's places. So, that's going to be interesting to see, what people have got at their track or around their track as well. That's
the thing, you can build up a big community, a bit of something a bit different. So, and we're still in lockdown for a little bit longer. Hopefully in the country we might be out shortly, but we're definitely still in lockdown for the time being. So it is something very good to do. Louise, well done. Congratulations. As I said, Chelsea's very proud of you. And I know there's a great bond there between the two of you. So get involved, send your pictures, your short videos, anything along those lines to the Yabby Dam Farms. Get involved with it, and we'll pick out a winner next week to have won the I better get the right sizings or I'll get into trouble. There's no hassles there. 2.5 kilos of Harmony, the all natural equine superfood in harmony with nature. So that's from Black Horse Natural Products. So make sure you get involved with that. You went sideways there for a minute, Louise. That was very trippy watching you on the camera shot. So
I thought I actually looked like I was still upright, but you looked like you were sideways. So I'm not sure what was happening there.
Well, I can promise you one thing. I have been sideways a lot, and people won't expect anything less. Louise, thank you. We've got plenty to go on too with the spring sale and that. I'll make sure we cross off on that very shortly. But thanks for joining me. Get inside before someone thinks you're crazy walking around with a little light in front of your face.
Oh, well, out here at Clarendon, there's not many close neighbours, so I'm pretty lucky that they don't know I'm doing it. But if I stay outside a bit longer, they might finish cooking dinner off for me, so that'd be good.
Bet you they don't.
I bet you they don't too. Okay, thanks very much. And, yeah, let's all just, join in and walk the track.
Absolutely, well done. We'll be doing a bit more with it next week and the week after. Thank you very much, Louise.
Thanks, Paul. See ya.
There we have Louise Toulmin. Unfortunately for the wind, it was a little bit blowy there at one stage, Daniel, but it's a great cause. Simple cause, simple thing.
Yeah.
And there's no hero tags to it. Just get there and get behind it.
Yeah, that's it. It's just all about mental health, and I think a lot of people, really starting to wane with their, how things are travelling. Feels like there's no end to the situation, and today's news wasn't the greatest. That things are going to drag on for a bit longer. But look, get out there and just do some exercise. Just walk around, stretch the legs, and get vaccinated too. That's probably the big thing as well. So you can do a bit more than walk, and you can really enjoy the things that we used to do.
I saw a Facebook post from Amy Cupid, who is from the New South Wales rehoming, and she posted today that she's down to get her first vaccination in November. That's such as the wait, possibly a little bit with her age and everything else like that. So if you're old enough and you're ready enough, get in, because you don't want to be waiting that long to get vaccinated. I'm fully vaccinated, you are as well. Just get in there and get it done. Actually, everyone in our family is, Marie is. Holly's not old enough, so to get behind it and get involved. I think it's key.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with a mate who's got a lot of friends over in England, and they've basically gone back to some form of normality, and a lot of relaxation of rules, but. There's over 70%, 75% of people, close to 80%, I guess, are double vaccinated. And I think the question to the fella over there was, what are the people, doing that are getting sick? And essentially, it's the ones that don't believe in it are the ones that are getting sick. So it sort of highlights the situation, and that it is the best course of action that we've got. You need to obviously check your health with your health professional and make sure that you can have it, and there's certain circumstances where it's not going to be good for your health, but on the whole it will protect you from getting really sick.
Yeah, absolutely. And Troy Harley actually said to me the other day some amazing stats about the amount of deaths prior and then now, with them at almost 80%. It's down, still a staggeringly high number, but it's like you said, most of those are people that don't believe they should be getting vaccinated. So it's important. I want to get out and get travelling. I want to get to New Zealand. I've got a lot planned for the guys with New Zealand over there. They've got a lot planned for me. So I think everyone wants to be able to get out and do some things other than, as you said, walk the dog and the bin down the bottom of the road, and that's about as much as you can do. It's not good for anyone.
No, it's not. I'm really sort of hoping that we get a little bit more freedom. I'm particularly keen to at least get some more cricket in before time is called on my innings. But we just don't know what's going to happen, and hopefully we get a bit of a relaxation before October, and we can start the cricket season on time.
Thought you were going to say you're going to try and get to a game of football. You're going to have to get to Perth. The chance of you getting to a game of football is pretty zero.
All of it's been cancelled. Particularly up here, it was interesting. They were giving out. They gave out the GVFL Golden Valley League decided that they'd present premierships. Most of the other leagues just decided to go with minor premiers and didn't give a proper premier. But the GV decided that they'd do that. I think they've recanted that a little bit now and gone back and said, no, that's probably not the right idea and the right feel for it. So, there's a few minor premiers, but no premierships again this year.
I've got to do a live stream for South Bendigo Football Club. about the 20th, I think it is, of September. And we're hoping restrictions ease a little bit, that we'll be able to do something with some live people there and the rest. But AFL Central, which is here, they decided they'd started giving awards. I don't think they told anyone. They just went live. I got a message about an hour ago. So, yeah, which is a bit of a shock for the kids as well. So, and that's the thing. It's a shocking thing. Get vaccinated. Get out there and do the right thing. Talking about the footy. So Friday night, let's make sure everyone is aware that this Friday night coming, we won't be tuning into the trots.com. Actually, Daniel, two things. Where are we up to with the trots? So we're going okay that way. And who's our...
Yeah, we're going all right at the moment. Race 4's the Trotters handicap's due at 7:32. We've got about 11 minutes till there. But as we mentioned earlier, Mick Stanley won the first with Soho Dow Jones in the 2-year-old. Beating Masquerading, who was the short favourite. They went 157.2. Right About Angus won the second for Julie Douglas, and Glenn took the drive $1.30, 156.4. And the maiden race was just run before, just as we came on air. And Sal's Boy for Greg Hutton and Hayden Gray was the victor. 8-year-old Gelding winning its maiden at start number 15. So very lightly raced 8-year-old.
It was a good run at Bendigo, the Friday night meeting. So 2 weeks ago, it was an eye-catching run. It's a little bit of a handful of a horse, and Hayden done a great job. So well done, Haydo. Tough horse to drive. Can make things a little bit tricky. I forgot I got to keep changing these hats, mate. Otherwise I'll have people not ready. The Charlton Knights, we forgot about those because I had Louise on straight away. They went the $25 win. Went with Cobby Art, but had it straight out the win. Where did it finish?
Ran second.
Beaten
8 metres second. It was the $2.60 favourite. So, didn't strike a blow for them again, unfortunately.
That makes it hard sometimes. My phone is not updating with the comments that we've got. I know Peter Doyle's already gave us one, so well done you, Pete. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, both you guys, and to the listeners. May you all be doing okay in these different times. And exactly right, Pete. And it's some of those things are simple, aren't they? Just check on your neighbours, check on your friends, and go from there. And Emio chimed in. That's great, and you're spot on, Emmy. It's a simple way of doing things as well. So I've got a bit of an idea, Daniel. We may go live Friday night. You and I. We might even involve Emio, because the spring sale has opened. Will open. Sorry, Friday night. And closes on Monday at 6 o'clock. I'll definitely be live Monday night, 6 o'clock. So anyone wants to tune into Campbell's Comments Facebook page, catching up with all the sales results as they come in for the spring sale. There's a heap of horses. There's 7 brood mares and 4 yearlings. They were advertised as weanlings, but because of advertising prior to today, but today they've become a yearling for Harassed Trotter that I've had. But there's 56 lots in total. Make sure you go to nutrienequine.com.au and then follow the links to the spring sale. Go that way and you'll be able to see them. I've uploaded some videos of these weanlings today. There's plenty of photos. It's great. And maybe we'll go live. I'm just going to think about it. But because Friday night, so with the football, people who aren't aware, the footy takes over the car park at Gloucester Park. So effectively, Gloucester Park harness racing needed to swap at the last minute because it's all happened at the last minute. And basically, the trots in Gloucester Park are running at Mildura time. So I'm tipping some of the participants are going to be up bright and early. I saw the first races at 10 o'clock West Australia time, about 12 o'clock our time. But yeah, so they're going to be up bright and early and bushy-tailed, so they're out of there in time so the car park can be used for the people getting to the footy. So good luck to them.
It's interesting that because of AFL, the grand final obviously being over there now in Perth, and that precinct is pretty prime position, and I guess I'm sure that Gloucester Park and the trotting fraternity will be getting reasonably well compensated for it. So I don't think they'll be too worried about getting up just that little bit early on a Friday morning. to go to the races.
I can see Chrissy Voke leaving the black Chevy there in the car park and just walking across to the game anyway. Leave the pink sulky on the roof and away he goes. He'll be more than happy with that. That's for sure. So we've got plenty of people. Linda Guppy's on there. Stuart Tanner, welcome Stuart. Stuart always looks after me on social media. He's a good man, Stuart. He makes me feel very, very good. So Friday night, as I said, that'll be the spring sale all open. So I'm thinking we might go live about bit after 6. It's wall to wall Victorian harness racing because effectively we've got Mildura and Kilmore that will be run you'd think every 15 minutes. It'll be a little bit off centre to that. There's no thoroughbreds, so it's going to be a good night of racing. I'll just see. I'll see what my man in the Demons hat's doing, and we'll go from there. I think
we're not playing, so we're not playing, so I'm right.
It won't be an on loose lines. Anyone wants to tune in and think it's going to be an on loose lines, we might just talk form, each race coming up, do a bit of discussion that way and just have a little bit of fun with it as well going forward. So we'll see. We will definitely see how that one works. Benny Harness Racing are racing tonight as well. So it's interesting, Daniel, you said you were calling Shepherd and Trots Sunday, and at the minute they are still down as Shepherd and Trots.
Yeah, so I was talking to Macca the other day, and he was sort of thinking that there was a fair chance that it wouldn't go ahead. But there's greyhounds planned for Saturday morning, and then again on Monday. So those meetings are going ahead. My understanding is that the site there at the testing site out there at Kyalla will sort of close about 5 o'clock on tomorrow, and for trials, and obviously it's not going to be used as a prime testing facility over the weekend. The next 3 days, or tomorrow and Friday, up here are the two big days. There's about 17,000 people that have been in isolation that need to come out for 13-day tests. Luckily for me, my 13-day was on Monday. Not quite sure how it worked, but I don't care. It worked out well for me. But there's a lot of people that will be coming out for tests over the next couple of days. They're going to be under a lot of pressure, but hopefully by the weekend they'll have cleared that backlog, and then the racing facility will be right to go Saturday morning for the dogs, Sunday twilight for the trots, and then again Monday the dogs there again on Monday night. So we've got trials tomorrow at Shep, and they have put those trial times back. So the first is not till 7 o'clock, normally 6 o'clock, but they've pushed it back an hour. Just so that they can sort of clear out some space and everything like that. I haven't been out there to see what it looks like, how it's been operating, so I'm sort of not sure what the setup is, but I'm sure that they'll have it right for everyone that's going to the trials tomorrow. Reasonably
confident your first day in out of lockdown, you're not going to go and check out a quarantine the testing facility. That'd be the last place you want to go.
No, I'll go back to work tomorrow, which is good. And then just because of the nature of the roster, I've got Friday off, so I'll only have to go to work for one day. I was supposed to be calling at Bendigo Friday, but obviously we put that one to bed a little bit earlier because of we didn't know what my situation was going to be with quarantine. But we'll get back to it again on Sunday.
Yep, very, very good. Don't get confused. It's Kilmore and Mildura this Friday, though, because one of those Bendigo meetings must have changed as well. So
Yeah. I'm still trying to keep up with it, but yeah.
It's all good. We got Philip Wood. He's there on the line as well, mate, as one of the people viewing it. And like I say, anyone that wants to get involved, please get involved. Fire in any questions if you like. Hamilton the other day, James Herbertson, mate. He's a terrific young man. I got a chance to interview him. 500 wins. He's only been driving for 5 years. It's a great effort, isn't it?
It's a fair number, like to land that many in that space of time. So basically, it's like 100 winners, 100 winners a year, sort of thing. That's a big number, and particularly for a junior, concession, I guess you could say. But I mean, you essentially think of him as a senior driver now. He's one of the best we've got going around in the state by far. He's right up the pointy end of the premierships and things like that. So he's certainly no mug, and he can win from anywhere on anything. So it's a fantastic effort, and he's had he's obviously had a good grounding, and he's starting to reap the benefits of a very successful career.
He's a really well-spoken young man too. I enjoy interviewing him. But fair to say we had about 10 takes on that one. Everything was going good until someone hit the stop button by mistake. And then we just could not get it together afterwards. But he is a terrific young man. And he's very, very good. It was an interesting stat that I had text through to me the other day. Jack Law, after driving 5 at Mildura again the other night, which he does, with regular nausea, like just continually does it, he became the most winningest junior driver, since Nathan Jack was a junior. So it's a fair stat. He's had 132 winners, I think, this season now. It might be 135, but anyway, it might be 130. Yeah, Nathan's record might have been 132.
He's on 100. He's on 141 wins now.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe it was 100. Might have been a little bit higher, Nathan's record. But anyway, he's gone past it. Anyone that looks at it, James Herbertson actually drove 185. But the year he did, it was a 4-month extra season. So that's
correct. Yeah.
So James may have still broken it in that 12 months. He may have had the record, but the records actually say that he drove 185 winners that season. So you're just not sure exactly where that lies. Whereas
you have to look at it forensically to sort of work it all out, to see it, at the end of the September time when he did have how many winners he did have at that point.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, who cares? Because it's all. Yeah, that's right. They're both terrific. Exactly. They're terrific young guys that do a great job, and and it's good to see Jack Law doing a lot more interviews. Actually, I really like that. I think it's really good because he's got a lot of intellect up there. He's a very well spoken young man too. So he is really, really good. Drew Georgialis. I did an interview with Drew not that long ago. It wasn't. Because she's got 2 horses in work and she trained them to get a double at it was a Friday night meeting at Melton.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's done it again. Same two horses, and she done it again at Kilmore the other night.
Quite remarkable that, but when you only need 2 decent horses, and if you've got confidence going to the races, it can certainly happen. And they both did a super job, and it's real feather in a cap, really, to have only 2 horses and they both win. I'm sure there'll be people ringing and knocking on the door saying, "Do you want to train my horse?" Because it's a pretty good achievement, and to do it twice, even more so.
Yeah, it's a really good story. Lisa Miles was talking to me on the way to Bendigo Trots. I think she was on the way there too. There's a real tie back for Lisa as well because. I think her father, Drew's father, used to own horses with Lisa's mother when she trained horses. So there's a real tie in there, a real family thing. So she won the last race, I think, on Master George the other night. Jack Law won the other race. And yeah, both horses going really, really good. She turns them out looking good, so good story. There's plenty of other good stories there as well. Peter Ramiro, thank you very much, mate. Good evening to you too, and hopefully you're doing well as well, mate, in these trying times. So, yeah, well done to you as well. We've got a few other things to go through. Daniel, I'm going to throw to you. I'm trying to give Daniel his own segment because I can talk a lot. I can take up the stage. You
don't think I can?
Yeah, well, you can. No, there's no problems. But this way you can actually own the floor if you like. Did you happen to see the last race at Bendigo? Who actually won that, or has it not been on yet?
Yeah, they're just the fourth. The Trotters is on now, and they've just about done a lap. It's over the 2100, and no surprise to see Christmas Babes out in front. It's about the only spot you generally tend to see that horse. It's in front. Ends in a Party's on its back. There's only 5 in it. There was only 6 to start with, but Aldebaran Poppy was a scratching. So Christmas Babes in front. Ends in a Party's on its back. Benji Hall has come out and is now sitting without cover. Garshaway, who we mentioned previously, for Laura Crosland's now in the 1-1, and Namoska's 3 back on the inside. So there's only about 8 or 9 metres first to last. We've got about a half mile to go.
Garshaway's last win was a Monty race. That's the one thing.
Correct.
And it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been going okay. Since it had a couple of nice trials, and we mentioned it a couple of times that it had gone well at the trials. Hasn't struck a blow too much in the races. Ran second 2 starts ago, but It's getting a nice card here as they're just working off the back straight. They've got about 400 metres left to travel, and Christmas Babe in front. Benji Hall's only about a head away, and Laura's travelling pretty well on Garshaway. She hasn't really asked for it to come out yet. Ends in a Party's under pressure, and the Mosca's at the back. They're about to turn for home. Christmas Babe's in front. Benji Hall looks like it's got it covered. Garshaway's coming down the outside. I don't think it's going to get there. Benji Hall's having a devil of a time to get to the front. It's hit the front now, and it's going to win. So Benji Hall beat Christmas Babe, and Garshaway was third in that trot at Bendigo.
Have you ever watched how they do the some of the dog races and that in New South Wales, and they're trying to off the screen? It's different, isn't it? It's wrong in a way.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm calling the dogs, I do use the monitor a little bit, particularly just after the start. Or before the start, I'll watch it live and then sort of have a quick peek at the screen, and then by the time you've looked at the screen, you've got to be watching the track anyway, because they're usually coming around the home turn. So it does help you to zoom in on the fields, but when they have to call the races from the studio, I guess it depends on the person that's doing it, of course, but it could be a thing of the future where you do see a lot of those races called from the studio, as I think they probably do over in you've got the Swedish, what's his name, the Swedish trots caller who calls the South African bloke who calls the Swedish trots. He's certainly not at the track. He's certainly in a studio somewhere. So, but hopefully that doesn't happen for a long time, because I love going to the races.
He is one of the worst callers going around, that bloke. He does add some entertainment to it. Nellie Melba, welcome. She from on Breed to Succeed as well. I will cover off on that a little bit later on. Rightio. There's some fair trials at Ballarat the other day, Daniel, and I put it out to you. I thought, well, you're the trials man. You've had nothing to do at Shep for a couple of weeks, so I thought you could go through these trials and just give a bit of a rundown of how they went. You've got 2 trials you want to highlight. I've got the full videos of those, so you've got plenty of time to chat about those, mate. So I'll throw the floor to you, buddy, and away you go.
Yeah, so we're going to have this is the trials from Ballarat yesterday. Obviously, there's been a bit of press about with regards to Tough Tilly in her trial, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So. That's the first trial I assume we're putting up. Is it, Paul? Trial 5?
Rightio, I'll put that up right now for you, Daniel. It's up and playing. The mobile's just released.
Yeah, so trial 5 at yesterday was a really strong trial. Tough Tilly was obviously the headline act with Act Now, and I think you can probably follow all 5 of these horses out of this race. There wasn't much between them at the finish. Tough Tilly was too good, obviously leading. Act Now is obviously a really strong filly who is
Colt.
going.
He's a Colt.
Colt, sorry, I should say, has been going really well. Barroom Banner for Mick Stanley was as a nice type. Joanna's obviously been up the top of the list of the juvenile racing as well, and Soho Broadway, another one for Mick Stanley. There wasn't much, if anything, separating this 5. At the finish of the trial, there was, I'd say, probably 2 lengths at the most. Tough Tilly had obviously led up. They went 2 minutes, 0.2. The last mile was 1:57.1. They ripped home in 55.8, and the last quarter in 27.2. When you watch them go past the post, you wouldn't have thought they were going 55.8. They all looked like they had plenty in reserve, and I think that you can probably back all of them with a great deal of confidence wherever they step out. Now, potentially there's a couple that could run into each other, but even still, on what those 5 showed in that trial, plenty to look forward to for the rest of the season for those ones.
Right, mate. They've just gone past the bell. We'll actually hot it up. So we're at the 400 metre mark now, where it just starts to get a little bit spicy. You've got Tough Tilly in front. Barroom Banter, wasn't it, of Mick Stanley's horse? It was last. He's a fair eye catch and run, because Mickey doesn't do a lot on him up the straight, and they came home pretty hard, and they all finished this race off really good, didn't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. None of them were extended in any way, shape or form. Obviously, just out there for a bit of a workout, just to get the the legs pumping, build up a bit of pre-match fitness, I guess. But yeah, but I was impressed by mixed horses. To be fair, Emma's obviously you know what you're going to get from hers most of the time. But yeah, it was pretty. Barroom Banner was the one that sort of did look good going across the line. But as I say, I think they all look really good, and it'll obviously depend on where they draw in certain races and things like that. But they look like they're all heading in the right direction as we head towards the good races.
The other one you wanted to highlight was Trial 3, which was a 2-year-old affair. There was a couple of 2-year-olds on the card.
Yeah, there was. Emma had a lot in that the whole card. To be fair, this was probably the other trial that really stood out for mine. The three 2-year-olds for Emma, Petillon, Encipher, and Irish Black Label. There wasn't much between them at all. Again, when they went past the post in this one, Petillon led. Irish Black Label and Encipher chased it down. It was only a couple of metres by ahead, so there was nothing in it. We know what Irish Black Label did in its first prep. Obviously, won the Gold Bullion and did a great job. Petillon wasn't far away either, and Encipher's proving to be a nice type as well. They went 158.5. Last mile was 157.6. A half in 55.9 and 28.1 was the last quarter. And again, they weren't really extended too much over the course of the last 400 metres. They all look like they're heading. They'll obviously be all heading to the bigger races, and you'd be confident in backing any of them going forward. I've always liked Irish Black Label. I was impressed by its heat run in the Bullion when it ran second, and then I was actually pretty confident that it would win the final. It was probably not. It was certainly in the market, but it wasn't the shorter of the favourites. It drew 10 in the final. It was a great drive by Dave Moran to get the cash on that night, and I think it's got a lot of potential. Not much size about it, but certainly the motor would suggest that it's got a fair bit of ability. This was a really nice trial for these 2-year-olds, and those three in particular are the ones that I'd be following going forward.
You mentioned Dave Moran. Was Dave Moran there at the trials at Ballarat?
No.
Just similar colours. I'm not sure whose colours they were. I was just looking then at the blue and white colours sitting second last or last. But that's not an issue. Was there any others out of that Ballarat trial meeting that sort of you said, oh yes, or?
All the trials they've gone pretty good time in all of the trials. So Joe and Joe won the first trial. Was another 2-year-old trial. Beating Rich Beauty and Lovato Beach, all three trained by Emma. They went 2 minutes and a half in 56.9. So they look like they'll be nice types going through. Again, it's pretty hard to sort of line all of Emma's up. I mean, she's got a fair chunk of the good ones, and it's obviously hard to assess where they're at, sort of thing, and who's the top player in all. And you really don't know until the bigger races. It's not until they really get wound up that you know how good they particularly are. But based on what they've done at the trials, they're certainly going to be winning races. There's no question about that. Beach Villa was the winner of the second trial. Went 2 minutes, 0.4, 56.3. We know what you're getting with that. Interesting thing out of that trial, playing up. It was another one. It was a horse that ran second for Emma, and Ada Massa took the drive. The horse nearly fell about 25 metres before the post. I have no idea how it stayed on its feet, but it did and still managed to run second. I just hope everything was okay there with that one. And the trial 4, Mick Stanley won with Rock and Roll Do. Was actually a nice trial, came down the outside to win. Our Millionaire won the 6th trial. That was for the one of the faster class horses. And the top end 105 to 120 raters. Mark Dan won, beating Majida and 4 Big Men. Probably one horse out of that trial to follow was Mick Stanley's horse, Atlanta. It looked pretty good. It ran last of the 6, but don't let that put you off. I thought it was a really nice hit out, and it'll go well wherever he puts it in first up.
Very good, mate. We've got some good names watching us. I saw there before Tony Pellegrino. There was someone else here that I wanted to highlight. Alexander Hurley's on there. Emmy Mazzetti, he's on all the time. Neville Pangrazio's joined in again. He was well received last week, Nev. We appreciate that. Gary Crocker's on there from South Australia. So we've got plenty of people watching. If you want to ask us any questions, please go ahead. Alex Hurley, I think it's the Minuteman free-for-all at Geelong this week. So Hurley tradition. So that's all good. Bendigo, mate. What was your thoughts of the Bendigo meeting the other night? I loved Kilmore because it was a bit of a celebration of the Trotters, but it was a bit more around the paces at Bendigo, wasn't it?
It was, and it was a hell of a meeting. I'm just quickly trying to bring up all of the results, so I've got them handy. For me, the race of the night was clearly the Sides Classic. If this is what we've got to look forward to with these 3-year-old horses, seriously, there's going to be some good race, some unbelievable racing, but from a punting perspective, it's going to be off the charts. There's going to be so many horses with chances to win. Obviously, barrier draws will play a big part, but this was a hell of a race. When they turned for home at the top of the straight, once they'd all straightened up, there was dead set 8 horses that could win that race. And probably the horse with the least chance of winning it ended up winning it because he looked like he was under a bit of pressure, but he just found Bondi Lockdown. It was staggering to think that he was able to win that race. But the One Too Many's done a fair bit of work in that race, has run 8th, only got beaten 10 metres, and they went 156-1. Yeah, it's a race that you need to watch a lot to sort of assess all of the runs, but yeah, it's a cracker of a race. When they turned for home, I thought Laura Crosland was going to win it on Desi G, and it was at 25-1. I thought it was going to win, but obviously first step out in that big class just sort of knocked up the last 100 metres. But look, it was a great race, a really, really strong race. And the trot, something about Maori Trotters free for all for the mares. I mean, this was another one. Like, it was just proper full-on racing. Like, it was, no holds barred. And Sleepy, who's sort of got a nice run through the field, got a beautiful card into the race, and then was too good down the straight. That was another race where you sort of got to sit back and look at the form and assess the runs, because it was a lot of good mares in that race, and it proved to be a real spectacle.
I wear a few hats, the Harasta Trotter hats, and all the rest. That there were some mighty runs, some mighty tough runs. You can't take much away from Sleepy though. First up, it was pretty. And did you hear that she might have had a hunk out of the trainer prior to getting on or trying to be caught? She actually
really?
She bit Allison, and apparently bit her pretty solid. So yeah, trying to catch her out on the out there on the track as well. So beforehand, she's got a mind of her own. We've got plenty of mares in Australia at the minute that do have minds of their own, and she's definitely got one of her own, so there was no problems there. But she's a mare of the future. Like we were talking about the ones last week, I'm Ready Jet and all those. There is plenty of nice trotters around. Even in New South Wales, Duncan McPherson's trotter Aldebaran Ravani went 53.9 again the other day, so it just keeps getting faster and faster. I know its targets are here over the summer carnivals. It's just going to be sensational. Trotting these 4-year-old mares and 4-year-olds full stop are just breathtaking. So it was a good meeting. I don't think it probably was quite the Kilmore meeting. I think Kilmore just had a little bit of X factor about it with some of the performances, but it was still a very good meeting. And everything goes to Geelong this week, which is another good meeting. You keep thinking the trot races won't be quite as good. They just keep fronting up the trotters at the minute, don't they?
Yeah, it's like this. Traditionally, this today, everyone's gone out to the paddock, all the good ones. We've had the Breeders' Crown to wrap up all the futurity races. So this next couple of weeks, sort of, you don't sort of see too many of the good ones. But the reverse is true. That they're all now coming. They're not far away from stepping out on the track, or they've been on the track for the last few weeks. I guess this is really the first full time that we've had to work on this, where trainers have had to plan out what they were doing with their horses, and for setting for the Breeders' Crown and the Vic Breds and those sort of things. And it's a unique sort of time because we haven't sort of been in this position before where all the good ones are coming back at this time. Normally they're going out.
I've just got to try and find something while I was getting ready to do some of the other stuff I've got to do, Daniel, and I've got myself in a little spot of bother, but I'll work it out as I go. Yep, I've got it. It's okay, I found it. It's fine, don't worry. If you're wondering what I was doing, he's like,
I have no idea what you do.
where is he going? I have no idea where I'm going sometimes either. Daniel, I've got heaps of stuff to promote. One I will start on with is the Breed to Succeed. Where is that banner? I didn't actually put that one there. No, not that one. I don't want that one at all. I want the next show. I don't know what I've done with it. Unbelievable, Daniel. Preparation is key. That's what that's what they constantly say. It's got to be here somewhere. Anyway, the next Breed to Succeed is no, that's not it. I've got it again. I don't know what I've done with it actually. So there it is. It's got it as a different name. September 12 is the last episode of the Breed to Succeed this year. I'll be joined by Brett Coffey and Nick Hooper again, depending on COVID, depends on how it goes. It will probably be remote, but it may not be. It'll be one of those ones that we'll be doing over air. And you've got the chance of basically getting your name drawn out to win a service fee to American Ideal and Pastor Stephen. Now, there are conditions that do apply with both of those. You're not going to be able to just get them, and I will get those banners up there now for that is American Ideal on screen, and the shows have been brought to you by Barrastock and Kentucky Equine, and the service fee has been kindly donated by Woodland Stud. So well done to those guys for getting behind it, and also Pastor Stephen, as well as Lower Long Farms. So you've got Barrastock and Kentucky Equine. We'll also still have the Northern Rivers, but of course the farm now is known as Lower Long Farms. All you have to do is become a member before Friday, I think, midnight the 6th of September. Well, I don't know what night the 6th is, Daniel. Can you help me out with that one? Is it Friday?
Monday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Midnight the 6th of December. You must have your email in. No post. If it's posted, it won't be accepted. So if you're not a member, if you're already a member, the interesting part about this one is if you're already a member, you are a member still. You don't have to renew your payments because they're going to move the season to coincide. So just ring and check, but if you're a member from last year, you are still technically a member right through until Christmas this year. Pay up, become a member, go in the draw. $12,000 for American Ideal, $6,500 for Pastor Stephen. Saw a video, Kath McIntosh put a video up the other day of him trotting around the paddock. Can't wait to get there and see him. Just got to wait for the cherries to come in blossom, or cherry blossom trees to blossom, or something like that. But I'll be doing some stuff there. But yeah, make sure you get involved with that. It's key. It's going to be a great show with Nick and Brett, but please just become a member. If you want to be a breeder at all, it's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, I can't win it. I'd like to, but I can't. So I won't be putting my name in. But that is key. Now, the other part I've got to do is one thing I said I would always do is actually get a few things out there for some of the clubs, and I've got quite a few stallion tenders. I've also got a little special one I'm actually going to throw to an interview I did the other day with Leslie Grimsham from Standees for Breast Cancer, and they've got a raffle going at the minute, a little bit like Classic Connection. This one is for Speedings for Spur. So what I'm going to actually do is I'll actually throw to Leslie for this interview, and we'll be back straight after her quick interview. Right, joined now by Leslie McAleese from Standees for Breast Cancer, who have a terrific raffle coming up. Oh, it's available right now. Leslie, can you give us a little bit more information?
You can jump onto the website, Standees for Breast Cancer, and follow the links. Or you can jump onto our Facebook page also and just print out the paperwork, fill it in, email it back, and the Secretary Marie Lund will forward you the rest of the information.
There's only 200 tickets for sale, $25 a ticket, and it's, as I said, to Speeding Spur, who is standing at Lower Long Farms this year, and it is sponsored by Woodlands. Leslie, thank you very much. I've done a full interview with you. This is just a little teaser that I've thrown in the middle of a show that I do. I want people to go and watch the full interview. It's a great cause, great what you're doing. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we have Leslie Grimson. That whole interview is actually on my Facebook page. It is definitely on the equestrian page. I've had a glitch in technology, and for some reason it doesn't always show up on my feed. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, whether Facebook's playing some tricks on me or something happened. I actually don't know, Daniel. I've got no clue at all, but for some reason it is not there. But that is a $25, 200 tickets, free service fee to Speeding Spur, kindly donated again by Woodland Stud, one of my great sponsors. I should have them on. I'll put them on right now because I've got plenty to go through for them. But get involved with that. Go to Standees. Standees for Breast Cancer, I think, was the name of the Facebook page. So make sure you go to that and get involved with that one as well. Horsham Harness Racing Club have reached out to me. They have a service fee to Speeding Spur as well as a stallion tender. So go to the Horsham Harness Racing Club Facebook page or their actual website. I should have had it up exactly where to go to get it, but they have a stallion tender going right at the minute for Speeding Spur. So please get involved with that one. Kindly donated by Woodlands Stud. Bendigo Harness Racing Club as well have opened up another one. Daniel, I keep putting these over your face. Don't take it personally, mate. I just had to put it somewhere. Right. Get in touch with the Bendigo Harness Racing Club again for Vincent. So well done to Alabar. This has been very, very well received over the last few years. He's a sought-after stallion. We've got a filly here that we've just broken in. She's a lovely filly. She's a long way off racing, but she's a lovely filly and does a nice job. So get involved with that one. It's very sought after. His book is filling fast, so make sure you don't miss a chance to go to Vincent. And then the other one at Bendigo, and I've got to swap hats while I'm going, but I'm not on screen. Oh, yes, I am on screen, so I better do this one as well. Bendigo have another one, Daniel. It's a $2,000 service fee. Sorry, a $2,000 voucher to spend at Aldebaran Park. So if you're thinking about going to Sky Valley or whatever, you put a tender in to get it. So if you put in a tender, it's an easy way of saving $10. If you really want to be smart, you could save $100. You could go a few ways. It doesn't go off that often, this. They had a little bit of troubles getting it to go off a couple of years ago, but it's a no-brainer, especially if you're going to go to Sky Valley. Yield Boko or Aldebaran Eagle are all there at the minute with Aldebaran Park, and there's some exciting things coming with Duncan going forward as well. So if you want to get involved, contact the Bendigo Harness Racing Club by Facebook or their website as well, and that one will be there. And then the last but not least, but this will cover both of us up here, is the 2021 Trotting Stallion tender for the Bort Harness Racing Club. Service fees to Aldebaran Eagle, Angus Hall, Bacardi Lindy, Cardigan Boko, Down Under Muscles, Peak, Sky Valley and Yield Boko, all available there. Aldebaran Park, Mountain View Stud, Lower Long Farms, Good Time Lodge, Aldebaran Park, all of those. Well done to you guys for getting behind it. That doesn't close till the 13th of September, so we'll have plenty more of those coming forward and going forward, and get the messaging and the branding out. I seem to have the wrong hat on every time I'm doing this at the minute. I have one more to go, which is the VSTA award. Now, I did a little bit with the VSTA. I'll put a cheeky little post out there today as well. Just did an awards night for them for the 2020 season, because they, unfortunately, due to COVID, they haven't been able to get it. They have got their raffle going. You can actually get in touch. The easiest way to get in touch, all my papers, well organised machine that I am here, Daniel, and I can't find it. I actually did a banner up for it before. Oh, I know where it is. Just give me a sec. I'll actually get it up as we go. Just got to find a text message that I got from someone earlier. Yep, there it is there. So go to vicsquaretrotters@hotmail.com. vicsquaretrotters@hotmail.com to get your ticket to Classic Connection. Now, the reason he's got the $3,000 breeders bonus next to him is if he wins a race, if that foal wins a race as a 2-year-old, it's a no-brainer. You get $3,000 back. So I think it's just one of those things people should just do. Just should be able to get involved, and you know, if you want to breed this year, there's plenty of opportunities to get cheaper, discounted service fees at the right price. And Classic Connection's a beautiful horse. I will be definitely doing some more stuff with him going forward. So now I've lost my run sheet. Oh yeah, no, there it is there. Oh, Jared Maloney always tunes into everything I do on Breeders Breed to Succeed and the likes. Swan Hill Harness Racing Club, they always do a stallion tender. He hasn't reached out to me yet, so I'll throw it out to Jared to get involved. That's for sure. So Daniel, did you have anything else for me?
I'm just going to say there's so many of those on. You know, it is just the clubs are doing all they can. The stud farms are doing all they can to, give participants the opportunity and breeders the opportunity to go to these stallions, and whether you can get them at a cheaper rate, so be it. But they're all doing it for the right reasons to ensure that we continue to breed stock for our racing and our racing pool, and also to try and for the breeders and that to try and breed their next champion. So it's a really good way of potentially saving a few dollars going to the breeding barn.
People aren't aware. I did this on Breed to Succeed. Traditionally, 60%, between 60 and 70%, each one will have of the advertised service fee. So you can't put a bid in for $1 and expect to win it. Roughly about that 70% mark, but you can go from there. You can get a bargain. I do know, being tied up, I was on the committee at Bendigo Harness Racing Club. They had a windfall because Vincent, the first year that they actually got him, they closed the book and there was 2 service fees left open, and that was Swan Hill and Bendigo. Swan Hill's closed, I think from memory, might get this wrong, but one closed about 3 days prior to the other. So Swan Hill got the full service fee, I believe. Bendigo, the person paid overs just to guarantee they would get the service fee. So it's a great way for clubs to get involved, and it's a great way for clubs to build a rapport up with studs as well. And go from there. But I will say also, I'll put my Woodlands hat back on for a sec. Well done to them with both the getting by on Speeding Spur, but the standees for breast cancer. I think well done to them guys for donating that one. Again, he stands at Lower Long Farms going on there. Don't forget the GoFundMe pages either. Tony Zira and Taylor Shambry. Please check those out. If you haven't got the money, if you can't get involved in that way, just reach out to the 2 participants, especially if you know them. Reach out, make sure they're going okay, and just have a chat to them, because I think that's the one thing Tony X especially has been blown away by the amount of people that are helping him out. He won't be far off going in for his operation, so might even try and get him on for a chat prior to it going in there. But hopefully for him, it's a good result, that's for sure.
Absolutely, it's we've done our bit on here just to promote it, and hopefully we've got some people that have been able to make a contribution to it, because it's that's what we're trying to do, is to make people aware of these situations.
I've got my earplug underneath my wheel. I tell you what, you talk about preparation. Yeah. It's pulling down on my ear. It's killing me, but I can't do much about it. So I've just got to take one for the team, Daniel, as they say. Yeah. Daddy McKinnedy's tuned in there as well. Don't forget Nutrien, the spring sale. It opens Friday at 3 o'clock. I think it opens up. It concludes Monday at 6 o'clock. The way it works is that at 6 o'clock bids close unless you keep bidding on a horse, and then it'll keep going for another 30 seconds, I believe, afterwards. So I definitely will be going live then, and I'm going to have a talk to you off air when we finish this. We might do a racing one Friday night where we don't banter on as much. We'll be having both eyes on either the tote and the trots, most probably the tote and the trots, and just see what we can bring up. Could be a bit of fun, Daniel. It'd be very fast. We might be able to get people involved and go that way as well. So just something different.
Correct.
Peter Doyle, he's put there, thanks for the show. Great for my mental health. So give Pete something to do as well. I'm not sure how we're good for someone's mental health, but anyway, glad to assist where we can, Pete.
So they're coming around the home corner here in the 5th, and it's looking like Rob Watson's going to have to dig another $500 out here, because Mick's in front. Laura's coming down the outside on Shayla, but Drain the Swamp's going to hang on and win. So Mick Stanley's had a double there tonight, and that's $1,000 to prostate cancer.
It's actually $1,500 because HRV are going to go 500 for 500. Rob Watson's was any horse that he owned. He doesn't own Drain the Swamp.
Oh, didn't he own that one?
No.
No, he doesn't own that one. Well, the owner should chip in then. Seriously, they should chip in.
They are really good boys. Pogger and the crew. Actually, I can do the right thing here. Paulie Dobson is one of the owners, and a great mate of mine, Dennis Bice, actually bred Drain the Swamp, so he will be a very, very happy man. Yorkshire Standardbreds. I haven't got a hat for him, but he's a terrific mate of mine. But Paul Dobson, Pogger, most of the guys on social media will be very, very happy. He's a horse that probably hasn't lived up to what he potentially showed, but I think he's got the ability, that horse, Drain the Swamp, and he will get better with a bit of time. Daniel?
Yeah, I called him at a race at Hamilton back at April, and it was a really good run. And obviously he's back-to-back wins now, so he's had 2 in a row. So, but yeah, he's always shown a fair bit of ability.
Absolutely. Right, mate. I'm going to let you go. Stay tuned. If we go live on Friday night, depending on what I do work-wise and what Daniel's up to, please tune in, join in, get involved in the conversations as well. And we encourage people to. We haven't had a lot of feedback this week, but we've still had feedback, which we really, really appreciate. And I definitely will be live on Monday. I'm not sure what you're up to. Don't know how you go with the yearling sales as well. You might get called in at the last. Oh no, I can't, because I need the same. I need the same bit of equipment that I've got you on here to be able to watch what's actually going on. Well, so you'll be on your pad.
I'm actually coming off the bench. I'm actually calling the dogs at Shep Monday night. So I had to give up a couple of meetings because of isolation, but have been snapped up very quickly. So very much glad to have a couple of jobs coming up.
Yep, very good. All right, well, I'll leave you alone Monday, but Friday night you and I might be on, and we will go from there. It's been another episode of On Loose Lines. We don't do a lot. We just banter on a little bit, but hopefully it gives people something to tune out for an hour on a Wednesday night. We'll be back next Wednesday night, and who knows who we'll get on. Try and get a couple of guests on if I can get myself organised in time, but yeah, we'll go from there. Don't forget, the VSTA Horse of the Year Awards will be released on Campbell's Comments 7 o'clock Sunday night as well, so tune into them. Al Morrow and John Davidson were out today, and they've done a great job of preparing all that. I've got a video, edit all the videos up, but make sure you tune into that as well. And don't forget to become a member of the HBV by the 6th of September, which, when did you say that was? Monday night. It is too.
Monday night.
Yeah, midnight on that. So go from there. Stuart Tanner, you're more than welcome, mate, and I really appreciate everything you do. And go from there, and then he better get back to work. I'm pretty sure Stuart's in England, so we've got him out of time. So that's all good. And no, fixed all the wheels, Pete. So we're all good. Thank you very much for that. But it's fine, Peter Romeo as well. So thank you very much, guys. We appreciate the input. We encourage more people to get involved with us as we can, and bring up the conversation. We can lend it any way we want. So we really do appreciate that as well. Daniel Hibbard, thank you very much for joining me, mate. And
Thanks, Paul.
no worries at all. See you, mate.